Most people in general, including myself, don't know much about the sport of curling, how the game operates, scoring, and etc. The name of the sport reminded me of curling my hair, even though I knew that was not how the sport worked. When I came into the Brainerd Curling Club, the environment gave me the feeling of being a part of a Planet Earth episode, narrated by David Attenborough.
Here we have a pack of sliding curlers. Watch as the alpha female displays her dominance over the herd by tapping the end of the frisking broom to check for rogue insects. This is a precise exercise. And off she goes, gently but flamboyantly launching the oversized walnut down the frozen river. The alpha female's job is now complete. It's down to the herd to frantically follow the walnut down the river, gently frisking the foreground.
Who knew that rolling stones on ice would turn into a professional sport, yet alone an Olympic sport? Curling started for many people in different ways. Some even started with something as simple as pushing a button.
I think I heard about it on the radio and tried to talk my husband into doing it, and it wasn't until we had a mutual friend who was curling, and then I was able to have more leverage and actually come and start curling.
The first recorded history of the sport was located in Scotland in 1511. Curling was played during winter seasons on frozen ponds and rivers. For equipment, the first thing you need is a clean pair of tennis shoes. Some people bring their own curling shoes with a built-in slider on them. If you do not have a fancy pair of curling shoes, you can use the club's detachable sliders to put onto your dominant sliding foot. The other equipment you need is a broom. Some members bring their own brooms from home, while the club provides members with brooms if they do not own one. The last and final piece is the star of the show, the granite rocks with handles that are also provided by the club. There are many characteristics that make the stones unique, but some of those characteristics play a very important role in the sport.
The distinctness of the granite is it's shock absorbing, so as the rocks are hitting each other, they don't break up.
Before people are allowed to go on the rink, the first thing everyone does before entering the rink is stomp their shoes on a clean, sticky mat.
Clean shoes are really necessary for a couple reasons. Most important, it allows you to slide on the ice and as you're delivering your rock.
When you first walk into a curling arena, it contains 4 or more lanes, formerly called sheets, depending on the size of the rink. Another thing to observe is the texture of the ice. The technical term is called pebbled. On smooth ice, the rocks would not be able to stop spinning, and it would make landing the stones in the house impossible. Staff members called ice makers are responsible for maintaining the sheets before the rink opens, in between, and after games. Without them, curling would not be possible.
Well, before each night of curling, we come in, the ice makers come in, and the first thing we have to do is scrape the ice off. And to do that, we use a machine similar to a snowblower, but instead of a snowblower attachment, it has some blades on it. And we go back and forth on the ice to get it as flat as possible, to remove the dirt and to get all the pebbling from the previous night's curling off of the ice. Following that, we clean the ice, and then we put a new coat of pebbling on. It's usually 1 coat or 2 coats. And this is the pebbler, and basically it's like an overgrown sprinkler. It's got a sprinkler head on it, and we add pebble to the ice, which gives it its curl. So once we're done with pebbling, we come back, and after we let that freeze for a little bit, we come back with what we call a nipper. And that's just a little blade almost like a push broom would be, but it's got a blade on the bottom, and that just takes the very top of the pebbles, knocks the top off the pebbles.
Seeing curlers slide and sweep across the ice, 2 questions pop into people's minds. Why do they slide when the rocks are thrown, and why do people sweep?
You want to gracefully try and transition from the hack position into the slide, and then just hold that so you're just thinking about your aim and the weight, and so as little movement as possible.
Sliding is the process of when a person delivers the rock after taking off from the hack. Sweeping is the other procedure that makes people more curious about curling, but most don't know exactly why this is done.
Sweeping will make the stone go further and straighter. We usually tell people on our ice you can extend a shot by anywhere from 4 to 6 feet. And curling being a game of inches, trying to get to the closest to the middle, if you can affect a shot by feet in a game of inches, that becomes very important.
Curling is a simple game that is played between 2 teams of 4 players who alternate sliding 8 red and yellow handled stones across a sheet of ice towards the house. Keeping track of your score is important to determine who wins or loses. For some, understanding scoring is as simple as 1, 2, and 3. For others, it may not be so easy to understand the scoring method.
Don't overcomplicate it. I think a lot of people look at the scoreboard relating it to a baseball scoreboard where you have what's scored in individual innings, and then you also need to have the total score at the end. Curling, we're lazy, and so we just do it all with one tile. You hang that up there, that tells you what the score of the game is and when the score was made and who got it.
Curling is more than a hobby or sport. It's a place to call home. It's a place where lifelong friendships are created. And it's a lifestyle.
You're constantly trying to support other clubs by attending their bonspiels and participating in, your state and local events as well.
Most of the time, curling is a serious sport. Sometimes, at the Brainerd Curling Club, seeing people wear funky leggings and team jackets made me see a fun side and also see a family-like perspective to this sport. Not only is curling a fun and family-like sport, anyone can participate, which makes it not a limited sport. People of all ages, with disabilities, and all skill levels are welcome to play. Not only does a club like the Brainerd Curling Club teach the sport of curling, it's a sport and place to bring the community together.